You know, in the tarot, when you're going through a crisis, there is literally no card you'd rather see than this one. Card number 17, the Star. On the surface, yeah, it's about hope and inspiration. But to really get it, we need to understand the darkness it comes from. Let's dive in.
And that's really the core idea here. Hope isn't something that's just born in comfort. It's a light that really only becomes visible after we've been through something, well, something profound. Some kind of darkness or major disruption.
See, the Major Arcana in the tarot, it tells a whole story, right? It's the soul's journey. And right before you get to the calm serenity of the Star, you have to go through card 16, the Tower. And this card, this is sudden, catastrophic change. It's the lightning strike that just shatters everything you thought was stable and forces you onto a new path, whether you're ready for it or not.
So what happens when it all comes crashing down? That's what we're going to dig into in our first section, After the Tower.
Okay, so after all that chaos and the deafening noise of the tower, this almost surreal quiet falls. That moment is the Star. The dust has finally settled, the storm is over, and for the first time in a while, there's this profound sense of calm. And it's not just that the fighting has stopped, it's a pure, deep, tranquil peace. All right, to really get what this card is all about, we have to look closely at the pictures, at the symbols. Let's break down the symbolism in what I'm calling the anatomy of hope. And here it is. Just look at this card. Every single thing you see here is packed with meaning, from the women in the center to the stars twinkling up in the sky. It's a really beautiful image, and it's just begging us to look a little closer. Okay, so probably the first thing that jumps out at you is the central figure, right? She's completely exposed. So why is that? What's the deal with the nudity? Well, that vulnerability is everything. After the tower just comes and wrecks all the fake stuff in your life, all that's left is you, your real, authentic self. The nudity here is a symbol of truth, totally unveiled. There are no more masks, no more hiding, just pure honesty and openness. Okay, so now look at what she's doing. She's pouring water from two pitchers. And this isn't just any old water. So what's the meaning behind these two streams? What she's pouring is the water of life. See how one stream goes onto the land? That's about nourishing our conscious world, the day-to-day. The other stream flows back into the pool. That's replenishing the deep well of our unconscious, our intuition. It shows she's freely giving what are called the gifts of the spirit, not holding anything back at all. All right, now let's look up. The card is called the Star for a reason. What can we learn from those lights in the sky? So up in the sky, you've got this one huge, radiant, 8-pointed star, and it's surrounded by 7 smaller ones. Together, they're like this powerful beacon of hope, a guiding light in the dark. And that number 8, that's a big deal here. It symbolizes things like rhythm, balance, and that feeling of attainment you get when you finally harmonize all the different parts of your life. Okay, now we're going to go a little deeper into the more esoteric layers of the card. In section 3, let's talk about its connection to air and Aquarius. So pretty much every major arcana card has these connections to the elements and astrology. The Star, it's linked to the element of air, which is all about intellect, truth, and clear thinking. And astrologically, it's tied to the zodiac sign of Aquarius, the water bearer. And you can totally see that reflected in the card's artwork, can't you? This whole Aquarius connection, it adds another amazing layer of meaning. It's basically saying that when this card shows up, the truth is about to come out. It points to making your biggest hopes a reality and hints that help might just come from somewhere you'd never expect. It's all about that forward-looking optimism, that belief that a better world isn't just possible, it's on its way. All right, so let's pull all these different threads together. What's the actual feeling of this card? That's what we'll get into next with a beacon in darkness. This is the card you want to see when you're in one of those dark moments. When everything feels overwhelming, the Star just pops up to remind you that, hey, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. It gets you to lift your gaze up from your problems on the ground and connect with something higher, something more hopeful. And to really feel its power, let's put it side by side with another card, card 15, the Devil. Think about it. The Devil is all about despair, being enslaved to our worst habits, losing all faith. The Star is the exact opposite. It brings serenity, it restores that faith, and it inspires us to believe that things can and will get better. It's literally the antidote to the devil's poison.
All right, let's wrap this up in our final section and bring it all home. Let's talk about your guiding light.
Okay, and here's the really crucial point to remember. The star isn't the finish line. It's not going to magically solve all your problems. Hope, well, hope is just the beginning. It's the fuel you need for the journey, but it is not the journey itself. What the star does is confirm you're on the right track, that your dreams are valid, that they're blessed. But it's still up to you to do the work. The card gives you the inspiration, the map, the faith you need. Your job is to take that light and actually use it to see the next step in front of you. And that really leaves us with one final thought. The star is asking us to look inside ourselves and find that little beacon of hope that always remains even after the worst storms. So the question it leaves you with is this: where in your life do you need to follow your star?